This video is brought to you by Slate Black Industries. For grips and accessories, visit slateblackindustries.com.
So Cologne boys are gonna have an aneurysm over this because we're running a URGI rail on a Mk18-ish 10.5 upper. Technically Mk18s are
10.3.
10.3, yeah, that's right, 10.3. But this is not that. This is for us to see what operators would be experiencing with 77s and a shorty, which there are a lot out there.
Impact. Impact.
So, to the discerning viewers out there, I am most certainly using the grip clamp C.
Okay, I'm on at 200. Dead center. Nice. Second one was off on the right edge, but
Okay.
good to go. All right, we're on at 250. Impact. Good hit. Nice. Okay, I'm on at 3. Impact. Just low of center, but good windage. Impact.
Okay.
Second one was also low, just to the right. Okay, I'm on at 350. Good elevation. That was on the right edge. Push left just to half a target. Impact dead center.
Okay. Again, remember this is 77 grains out of a 10.5. Not 11, not 12, this is 10.5.
Okay, I'm on at 400.
Alright, I'm gonna eyeball it to see how much elevation.
So if you gave a hat to this other dude, this is going to be what? Like near the top of the berm?
Yeah, this is like a top hat.
A top hat. Yes. Not enough. Give him the extra tall hat.
The Abe Lincoln.
It needs to be another half target high. Still not quite enough. Another quarter target high. Impact dead on. Impact dead on.
Alright, now so basically it's at the top of the berm is where the dot is. The clarity on this magnifier is quite nice actually.
Is it? Which one is it? Aim point?
Aim point?
Yeah. They're not bad. It's okay.
No, yeah, I'm Josh. Aim point is not bad. It's all right.
All right, 450. Okay, your elevation's actually pretty good. You need to push left half a target. That was off the right. Impact, dead on. Just off the left edge. Impact.
All right. So the dot for that one was underneath the 800-yard target.
Oh my. Okay, I'm on at 500, final target.
All right.
So where the heck are you going to be holding here? Like on the 900-yard target line?
You see the grass line on the berm?
Yeah.
Not on the hill?
Way back.
Yeah, I'm going to use that as a reference point to float the dot on. You ready?
Sounds good. I'm here for it. Okay, that was come down half a target, come left a quarter target. Okay, that was just underneath him. Impact. Just short, come up a quarter target. Impact.
Can't stop, won't stop, AR15, baby!
Dude, I mean, for a 10.5-inch gun with a red dot on a CAC skyscraper mount,
Yeah, it's I mean it's a CQB. It's a CQB carbine. This is not like something that you would actually want to use for stuff like this.
But that was actually like really good, I thought.
Yeah, I mean goes to show why people like these things. And quite frankly, like between this and the URGI, these are systems that the civilian world had already developed for 5-10 years before they were pulled in towards the military. So at that point, the amount of refinement towards the gas system, the barrel, the handguards, all of that had been done by the civilian populace, and the military then goes out and just puts out an RFP and finds something that is worthwhile. And SOCOM is excellent at playing that contracting and RFP game, whereas Big Army, as you can see, adopts things like the XM5. I am going to continue to kick that like dead horse, that dead dog. But anyways, back to this 10.5 URGI mix with Mk18, Josh's builds.
Yep.
Not bad. I mean, red dot too. I mean, also goes to show when you're using quality optics, because like aim points, especially the T2s, when you look through them with the magnifiers, one thing I've noticed comparing those to like the Comp M2s, Comp M3s, Pros,
Even the older gen Aimpoint H's and other T micros, I can attest. What you're gonna say, I agree, is the same.
It's a cleaner dot.
Yes.
I don't know how to say this, but it's a cleaner dot.
Yep.
Like when there's no gunfire, anyways, right? When you're comparing that to some of the other optics, and I know this is like, I made fun of Josh for this. I love aim points. Like if you look at my stuff, most of my stuff have aim points on them because I love them. It is a single dot, and from a consumer, a lot of times we get into this mindset like, oh, I paid so much money, I want something more on the thing. The two that I use the most are either the ACSS with a magnifier or just an aim point. I don't use as much EOTechs. I just don't. But the aim point, when you're shooting at distance, that crisp, super crisp dot in the magnifier gave me an ability to reference other things that are out there, to use the other things almost like my mind. I turned that into a reference, a grid reference on where I'm going to hold at that point. It's no longer a background. It is a bunch of reference points for me to point this very crisp red dot at. So
makes sense. Henry, I want to get into talking through some of the history of the Mk18 and its adoption in SOCOM, and then sort of the evolution to the URGI, which is again an amalgamation of what we have here. So
yeah, man.
What do you say? We take it to the debrief?
We'll see you guys there. Nice. Dude, that was really good. Oh, hello there. You must have caught me freshening up the 9-hole Reviews Mark 12. Now, did you know the 9-hole Reviews is largely supported by Slate Black Industries and the patrons of Patreon? That's true. All those 77 OTMs, all those heartbreaks and range fees that we experience. Behind us, we have the patrons of Patreon, who support us not only financially and intellectually, but emotionally. So today I'd like to invite you to become one of us. Join us on Patreon and become a patron of Patreon. And if not, completely understand. We'd be just as happy to hear from you in the comments section down below. But for now, onwards we go. And so we have another installment of what kind of SBRs can Josh give me to shoot at totally realistic distances. Thank you again. What in the hell is this thing? Because it turns out I had been calling it a URGI, but it is not.
It's true. I know that you got all of the cloners really riled when you said it numerous times. So thank you for that. That'll boost the engagement, Henry. It'll boost the engagement. This is a 10.5-inch gun with, unironically, relatively budget components. At least, like pseudo-budget components. It's got I think it's a ballistic advantage 10.5-inch barrel, like an arrow lower. The rail system, the trickery, was a Geisley rail system. And, then obviously there's really expensive stuff from Knights in terms of the optic mount, and you've got aim points on it, and a Geisley trigger, and blah, blah, blah. So I can see where you were bamboozled, okay? Bamboozled. But this actually isn't the first 10.5-inch gun, Henry, that we have shot out to 500 on the show before. In fact, way back, like OG 9-hole. One of the very few times I've actually shot the course on camera, we shot another 10.5-inch build, but that one had a Night Force 1-8 on it, although we were shooting 55 grain ammo. In this case, we traded the optic out for a setup which is definitely sniper-oriented, definitely precision-oriented with your skyscraper aim point. Then we tried it with 77s.
Now, I'd like to point something out. Like, you hand something to me at the turn of the 20th century manufacturer. I could point out cartouches, I could point out stampings on the rifle, and identify certain locations, wars it's been fought in. But in this particular instance, this thing is very much in line with the current trend in North America, to where people just put together. Right? This is quintessentially a whatever build out of Josh's garage, which is the same of what you see happens on the gram, on Facebook pages. In real life, this is what you would see put together. A 10.5 build with a ballistic advantage barrel, and I think this is pretty reflective of the North American AR-15.
Dude, this is the Graham Extraordinaire rifle.
Yep.
Okay, it really is. It's illumination, IR devices, suppressors, tall mount. This is the shoot rifle at pistol distances build.
Yeah. Well, and to that effect, I mean, we've taken the crink out, which the crink is even shorter of a barrel length than this, but for me, much more flavorful. We've taken, what else have we taken out that is grossly inappropriate? The P90?
That is a good one. The M1 carbine.
The M1 carbine. But of all of these things, I would say this is actually much more, dare I say, realistic of what you would see nowadays, being something that's very popular in many people, in
I think so.
states garages. This is actually something that you would see someone use for general purpose. Now, whether I agree or disagree with that is beside the point. The exercise today is to seeing, we've done this in the past with an LPVO. We wanted to see if a general 10.5 build could reach out to these distances with a very run-of-the-mill barrel.
Don't be confused by the fact that there's thousands of dollars of expensive accessories. The guts are not actually that expensive. That's
Right.
That's ultimately what we're getting at.
And so obviously it's doable. And frankly, it was fairly lethal up to like 350. We still hadn't dropped a shot, right?
Yeah.
So you could have shot the old school Army qual course and still qualified expert with it. Huh?
I mean, Henry, a large portion of what, even the misses that you did have, a large portion of it was just understanding how to hold, because we're shooting without reference, right? You're shooting just a dot without reference. So a large amount of the misses was really just understanding the holds,
Yeah. So it's interesting how, I mean, a lot of what you see here, you have a lot of feedback from the GWAT era SF guys bringing their deployment kit, and we have done a video on what a deployment kit is, what you should do to prep a deployment kit if you want to put a long and a short upper together. But on a deployment kit, basically what we're looking at is a rifle, 14.5 or 10.5 rifle, and then having the opposite, let's say if you had a shorty like what you see here, put a Block 2 upper with it, or a 14.5 with some type of magnification on it, so you have a CQB upper and you have a general purpose upper. If you were to take that SF guy's CQB upper, which is what you see right here, the shorty, and you take it with 77 grains, which as we record this in the year 2024, it's actually fairly common to find 77 grain projectiles and cartridges out there. You take that exact system. Can you punch past a distance that people expect it to punch past? Yes. Very deadly at 300. May need a little bit of massaging after that, but still very easily to get on target, even up to 500.
That's the key. Easy get on target, terminal ballistics, huge question mark.
Yeah, because, but partially though, people are going to argue, yeah, well, you could stand there and it just hit you like a 22. I don't want to be hit by a 22. Being hit by 22s can unalive you very, very easily. So partially too, suppressive fire is a thing. You could put fire down to hold people's heads down, and what's to say you couldn't do that at a longer distance with this thing? Now, is it peak performance? No, it's not peak performance.
Not on long. No, definitely not for distance. But what's interesting about this, Henry, to your point here, and sort of the overarching theme of like, yeah, but we can do it, right? But you can, is like there are numerous aspects of this that are like actually going against you, right? When it comes to the mount itself. Having tall mounts like this, not only are they less comfortable to shoot from a prone position, right? Because you're having to sort of like crane your neck backwards and up to be able to get behind that type of an optic. But you're also then dealing with additional height over bore or divergence, I suppose, in terms of your optic position from the bore. And that carries with it its own considerations around zeroing distance and the flight of the projectile, max ord and all of that. So I think, again, demonstrated here, like, yeah, not really an issue as long as you're aware of what you're doing, right?
Yeah, look, Redditors will find a million different things to tell you that your setup is terrible. I'm not trying to tell you that this is the ideal long-range setup. I'm here to tell you that can you do more stuff than what the Redditors tell you can do with certain rigs? Yes. Is it ideal, though? No, in this case, it's not ideal, but can you do it? Yes. It's like you could drive across country and do a road trip with a Humvee. I mean, is it going to be nice for your wallet? I mean, it depends. If the government is your wallet and you are, in fact, not a private citizen, then that doesn't matter. But that's to say, like, can you shoot 77 grains as a general issued item or a general use item with your 10.5 every day, even during training? You can. Your wallet may not like you. But again, in the long term, there's a lot of things that we can do with things. Should we do it with those certain things? That is going to be the biggest question. So what was this thing set up for, Josh? I've never actually
This was
seen you shoot
originally, this was one of my first built out sort of like night vision-ish. I'm getting into shooting night vision type of guns. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what the configuration was really sort of purpose. That was the why. So use Joe's, Bruiser's sort of, his language or verbiage around it. Those are the whys.
So, I mean, I'd say this is a good setup for night vision outside of potentially like you're looking at more flash. So you are going to need a really good flash, suppressor that has flash suppressing. As far as what it's designed for, I think it's a good rig. Now, like you said, the tall mount outside of the trajectory, it also sucks whenever you're shooting prone with tall mounts because you're craning your neck all the way in an unnatural, sort of like in an unnatural way. It's like the polar opposite to shooting short range with a really low mount. You're like pushing your head down. But yeah, I mean, this is it.
I agree. So what I would say, Henry, as a finishing thought here, is don't necessarily, when you see guns like this, guys, don't necessarily go out and copy them and emulate them without really considering like the full scope of the negative sides or the potential drawbacks on some of these pieces of equipment. Tall mounts like this, We've done some videos on this previously. In fact, We have an exclusive session with Midway. We have the AR files talking about tall mounts on our channel. They require specific things. Like this requires a specific stock that has some extra connection points for like a pseudo cheek chin position. Like they're not necessarily optimal for doing everything, even though they are the hotness on the IG. So just remember, like when you see guns all kitted out to the nines, there's a lot. There's some. It's very either purpose built and driven for what somebody's trying to do with that gun, or it's very purpose built to be an IG toy. It's one of those two.
That's right. And instead of buying like a GBRS Hydra, you can actually use a carry handle with a carry handle pick rail mount on top and mount whatever height you want, and it will be disgusting, but it'll do the same. I know that hurts Josh for me to tell people to do, but you have a carry handle, and therefore it will be cool.
All right, gang. As always, we hope you enjoyed this session. I have gained some level of enjoyment by punishing Henry and making him shoot difficult guns. Not just his precision rifles, his oh-so-perfect precision rifles on the course, but making him shoot some tough stuff. So if you want to see Henry shoot more difficult guns, let us know which ones, which setups, in the comment section below. And until next time, we'll see you on the range.
This is Steel 96, 4 Vic, 8 packs, Redcon 1, green to green. How copy, over?
Steel 96, this is 716, roger, over. 16, Steel 91, 1 pack, green, green, over. This is 716, roger, over.
16, Steel 92, 1 Victor, 2 packs, Redcon 1, over.